We're here. Good afternoon, folks. 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Malarkey Man here, aka John, residing in Thailand the last 15 years. And I'd like to do a little vlog on something I just found quite incredible. I was on YouTube a couple of nights ago, fishing around for some entertainment, and up in the thumbnails came a Bob Dylan link with Murder Most Foul. And I thought, what the hell is that? So I took a closer peek, and it was 16 something seconds long, 16 minutes and something seconds long. Excuse the hammering in the neighbouring property. Anyway, back to the video. So I clicked it on, and I thought it was something that he did a long time ago, and apparently he's just only released this, what I could only term as an absolute lifetime epic of a masterpiece, you know, covering details on the JFK assassination, and it just instantly took me back to an event back in Liverpool. I know exactly where I was and what I was up to in 1963. I was actually 2 months into my 13th birthday, and I was out mucking around, sort of, I think it was midday time. It was still quite a nice day for that time of year, and a friend, me and a mate of mine, in Liverpool we lived in these little streets with cobblestones, only a stone's throw away from Dock Road and access to all the docks, Princess Dock, Albert Dock, the famous docks, so you know. Anyway, back to the topic. And events that used to happen then, like long since gone. We used to get rag and bone men and knife sharpeners playing business up and down these cobble streets. The knife sharpeners would be on old style bicycles with this sandstone thing connected to a wheel when they turned it upside down. Very inventive. And the rag and bone men would shout rags and bone, rags and bone, and they would actually, if you had enough rags, rubbish, clothes, whatever, they'd give you a goldfish in a bag, right, which you had to accept because it gave mum an excuse to go and get a goldfish bowl. Anyway, JFK. 2 or 3 streets away from that was this huge complex Victorian building built for the mentally infirm, Alzheimer's, genuine old age people. Actually, we did have wealthy people in Liverpool then who could afford to spend the last days in moderate comfort, you know. It was a beautiful, huge estate, but it was surrounded by brick walls about 4 or 5 feet high, and then gate style fencing all around, right? And we used to climb over and do adventures because there was trees in this place and several air raid shelters, but they were covered with mown grass lawns, right? And we used to roll and tumble down these mounds and stuff, and all these shelters were still open apart from one, but some of us didn't go in more than a couple of feet because some would shout an echo and it'd spook us all and we'd all run out, but the odd 1 or 2 would go in and steal something or remove something that was left behind or whatever. That'll be mentioned in the vlog before I finish. But anyway, the Kirkdale Homes, it was the only place, apart from a bit of a small park, which had swings and a sand pit, that was more daring to go and play in, because you had to be a bad boy to climb over the wall and the fence and dare hope to go up, and if it was a warm enough day, several old ladies or old gents would be out in the wheelchairs thinking about their past life and all the rest of it. And we'd go up and we'd, hello and blah blah blah, and we would hope and pray that one of them would give us a threepenny bit, beautiful chunky threepenny bit, or a tenner, sixpence, And in no way were we ever there to harass people or make them afraid or do any kind of vandalism or whatever. It was just purely like a huge adventure playground. And amazingly enough, we were never ever chased away by anybody. But there were plenty of nurses around inside the building who basically knew what we were up to. But I think they had us sussed out, and none of the old people were crying for help or whatever. But anyway, we were playing around and we went off and we were climbing some trees, and all of a sudden, out, this bellowing voice, "Hey, you two, come here!" We were busted. It was a local bobby, right, from Westminster Old Police Station, right next to the road, right next door to an old Victorian swimming baths, which was a beautiful place too. Anyway, we climbed over the gate, the fence, up on the wall, and he got hold of me by the ear, right. And incidentally, this bobby, he was your traditional local beat bobby, and he had the old traditional. That time of the year, they would wear a heavier cape, like a rain cape, over the clothing, the real old big helmets, and the kosh. A kosh was like a big baton, like a baseball bat, and that was kept in a sheath. Anyway, he had me by the ear, and he's got hold of my mate. I think, if I remember, his name was Jimmy Long, skinny like me, as we all were in them days, bloody after the war rations, you know what I mean? But anyway, all of a sudden he said, "Do you know what's gone on today?" "No." "John F. Kennedy's been assassinated. And if I didn't know your mum and dad, and that they wouldn't be able to hear what I said, because both my parents were profoundly deaf, I would have taken you home, dragged you home now by the scruff of your ear, and told them straight what you were up to." But he would have confused them, and they would have panicked. "What's he been up to?" Kind of thing. So he basically said, "Bugger off home and stay there, and don't let me catch you in here again." And we actually took heed to that, But anyway, it set me back to thinking, God, Bob Dylan's JFK, right? Murder most foul. So I spent the last couple of days recapping on videos and that kind of stuff, and then I started having flashbacks to that bobby. I only had one of those big handlebar moustaches, right? Quite a stout guy. And I thought, God, a scenario like that would just no way happen these days, But bobbies on the beat in those days, they had their beat. They knew everybody in that locale, right? The people in that street, who the kids belonged to, and late in the evening, their beat, if they didn't change the beat, they would go around and check people's doors to make sure they're all locked. And any shops, we all had corner shops then, they would check the locks on the corner shops, locked up, and they would wait till the pubs kicked out, and they would make sure that the landlords locked and bolted the pubs so they couldn't creep back in and carry on the session, And I thought, God, that's an era gone by, What have we got today? Coppers that you never see, and when you call 999 because something's been stolen, they come around the next day if they've got the time. They haven't got a clue who you are. And I'm not knocking them, because, when you look at the scene in the UK now with the knife crime, the stabbings, just the complete breakdown in behavioural, local, suburban lifestyles. It just doesn't exist anymore. Look, you don't even know who the hell your neighbours are. By name, nothing, you know. Nobody looks at each other, eyes down. But, you know, the old cobble streets in Liverpool, the knife sharpeners, the rag and bone men, the goldfish that they give you and all that kind of stuff. God, you know, if you could turn back time, just amazing. But anyway, my intentions about this vlog were, because I remember vividly that day, and 2 months into my 13th birthday, and today this assassination is still a huge topic on the internet. But the way Dylan has covered this murder most foul is just, it's left me speechless, you know. It's just a Picasso in music, a Rembrandt, a Gauguin, you know. It's just, if for those of you who haven't listened to it, and even if you can't handle Dylan, you need to listen to this. It's just unbelievably creative. Can't believe it. But anyway, what I'd like to ask is, there must be somebody out there that stumbles upon my little vlog, and of the same age group, or older, or a tad bit younger. Surely, it's like when people landed on the moon, or when John Lennon got shot dead, or whatever. You remember it. You remember the day, and what you were doing, and what you were up to, you know. So what I'm asking is, where were you? Whether you're male, female, whether you're in the States, Australia, wherever. It would be really interesting if you could spend a few moments to contribute in my comments section, you know. So all I'm going to ask for is subscribe, because I'm unlike any other vlogger here in Thailand, you know. I don't go on about the seaside resorts, women, food, beer, nothing. This is the boonies of Islam, Buffalo country, and it's affected me in a happy sort of way. But anyway, give me your thoughts on exactly what you're doing. If you can remember where your parents were, what they were up to, how you felt, and how you've ever, did it affect you? You know, like the Apollo landings and whatever. It's like, God, when John Wayne died, God, it hit me like a ton of bricks, you know. I wasn't too phased when Elvis went, but there you go. But JFK, and that Bobby on the beat, if I was ever back in Liverpool, and I knew where he was buried, because they seem to cremate people in this, if I knew his full name and where he was buried, I would go and put flowers on his grave in remembrance, you know. He left a lifelong impression on me. The true British iconic Bobby on his beat, covering, and believe me, Liverpool was no kindergarten. There was a lot of thugs around, there was a lot of things going down, and it was the beginning of the Teddy Boy era, and there was sort of, if I remember rightly, razor blade slashings going on and all that kind of stuff. But let's not ruin this video. Bob Dylan, Murder Most Foul. Where were you? 63. Be really interesting, you know. So take my hat off to you. Thanks. Back to the ranch. By the way, this is my office. It's open plan. It's literally a 5-minute walk from my house. I've taken over the place. It's full of empty, abandoned, or deserted. Not deserted, because the guy killed himself that was building this place. I've taken over. It's even got a swimming pool, which I'll show you in another vlog. I'm sorry, but there's a red ant walking right over the top of my GoPro camera, so I'm going to have to be careful where I click the off button, because these little buggers bite like hell. Thanks for watching. Click, subscribe, all the rest of it. Where were you? What were you doing? Cheers. Thanks for watching.